Hey everybody, it's Herc Magnus here, and I'm shooting this video because Xagio got another update and we're working on improving it recently, and it has a lot to do with the audit function inside the project planner of your plugin. So I want to dive into that and show you what it's good for. It's actually amazing. It was kind of a fluke that we stumbled onto this. It was something that our developers put in there that I didn't really ask for. And then when I used it, I realized, wow, this is actually extremely powerful. So if you're doing local lead gen sites, rank and rent sites, and you want to find out what other keywords you should target, what other pages you should target, it becomes extremely powerful for that. If you're doing affiliate keyword research, it's extremely powerful for that. So we're going to cover a bunch of those situations. If you're using Magic Page plugin, I know we've been doing a lot of training with Mike Martin over at Magic Page. It's always good that you have additional service pages, so this will help you find what those service pages should be and then help you optimize for them, help you find the keywords that you should be targeting for them. So I want to cover that live today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my other screen here. Okay, let me switch views. So I'm inside of the poolresurfacingphoenix.com website, and what I'm just going to do is I'm going to go to the function. Okay, I'm going to create a new project. I'm going to call it Audit. And where I actually like to start is what we're going to do is we're going to use the audit to find out what keywords and what pages are our best competitors ranking for our site. So for instance, the site that I'm working on is Pool Resurfacing Phoenix. So what I would want to take is my main keyword that I'm targeting, right? And I just want to search that in Google and see kind of who's ranking. So skip the ads, skip the maps, right? And then we see there's my site, so we don't care about that. There's Home Advisor, Yelp, and then we have True Blue Pools. So for my keyword on this particular website, that's actually the main competitor who's ranking the best. We're not interested in the Yelps or the Home Advisors. We're looking for the local companies who are ranking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on their link, okay, and I'm going to grab just their domain. Okay, I'm gonna just grab their domain because we want to audit them. What keywords are they ranking for? What pages do they have, right? Because they're gonna tell us a lot about what we should be doing as well. So what I'm gonna do is now back to my site, Project Planner, and I'm gonna audit, and I'm gonna just name it, the name of the URL that I'm auditing. I'm gonna click OK, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna load this project. And now I'm going to click on the audit website button, and right here I'm going to change this domain, okay, to True Blue Pools, and I'm going to leave everything else blank. Okay, I'm not going to really talk about what these functions and features do yet. I'll do training videos specifically for those, and I'm just going to click Start Operation. Now what Xagio is doing is it's going and looking at True Blue Pools, and it's finding out what pages do they have on their site and what keywords are they ranking for on each of those pages. And it's going to pull in all of their data. So audit is completed. So it takes a little bit to load the pages if it finds a lot, and there you go, it's done. So what we can see is we have a lot of pages and a lot of keywords that are highly relevant to our site, right? My main site is Pool Resurfacing Phoenix. So we have keywords like pool upgrade ideas. So what we're seeing here, first of all, is all the URLs of True Blue Pools, not our site, but True Blue Pools, the #1 ranking competitor to ours, and all their pages, and that's what these tabs are, okay? And all the keywords that we found that they're ranking for, as well as where they're ranking for those keywords, the volume data, the CPC data for all those keywords. So right away, this starts giving us ideas of maybe there's some additional keywords we could be targeting, maybe there's some additional pages we could be targeting. If you're using Magic Page plugin, and one of the best practices is to have a site already in place, to have your service pages in place, and then you use Magic Page plugin to add the different locations, right? And we have lots of training for that, and I'll show you basically. If you haven't seen this yet, go to xagiomagic.com. Okay, and you want to watch more training about all that stuff, okay, you can come here and view on these videos, view all these videos. There's a lot of great content on here. These videos all deal with anything that Todd and I, along with Mike and Keith, are doing with Magic Page, Page Rewriter, and Xagio together. So come and get that training there. So back to Project Planner. Okay, if you're looking for service pages for Magic Page, this is a great way to do it. So like maybe let's just take a look through here. Natural swimming pools, that might make a good service page for a pool resurfacing company. Financing your pool might make it. Let's just keep going. Building and design. So there's all kinds of great stuff here, right? And this is our competitor. So you can see there's a ton of keywords here. So the old way that we were doing things, especially when it came to what keywords should we target, what additional pages should we do, what we used to do is let me just go back. What we used to do is create a new project, and we would just call it keyword research. And if you're in rankandrent.club, you've seen the training videos for this. Okay, and the reason I'm showing the old way is because the old way is no longer nearly as good. So we would load our keyword research group, we'd go to group or keyword functions, and we'd say automatically generate groups, and we'd put in our seed keyword, right? Pool resurfacing, right? Phoenix, and we'd set our settings. But the problem with this, what this is, guys, is an AdWords API. So this ties into the Google AdWords API, and it goes and searches out keywords that are grouped according to AdWords, like Google AdWords Keyword Planner tool. And their API and their keywords, we're getting less and less results as we move forward, and it's becoming not as good, right? So we have ideas of how we're going to fix this, but what I'm showing you now, this new audit function, having the ability to audit your best ranking competitor for your main keyword, brings in tons of keywords that are highly relevant, and it kind of bypasses this function. We're still going to make this function better, but if you go back to the project and you follow what I did here for Audit True Blue Pools, you can see the keywords that it pulled back and the ideas that it pulled back are extremely relevant. And why are they relevant? Well, because they're the #1 ranking property. Well, not #1 because I'm #1, but once again, I'll go back to Google. Okay, and how this all started is I took my main keyword, pool resurfacing Phoenix, and I searched it in Google. And what I'm saying is, show me the websites that are highly relevant to this specific keyword. Okay, so I'm ranking #1. We skipped the big ones like Yelp and Home Advisor, and we found True Blue Pools. Now, why are these keywords relevant? Because True Blue Pools is a pool company in Phoenix, obviously, and they have a bunch of pages, they have a bunch of keywords that they're already ranking for. So everything that the audit function brings back, okay, when we audit them, is highly relevant keywords to our specific site, right? So it's extremely easy to do, it's extremely fast, and it brings back a ton more results than the old way of doing things. Now, the next step, okay, is we even bring back the optimization. Okay, so like we bring back the title, the H1, the description, and you can use those to help you, guide you when you're rewriting titles, descriptions, if you see anything you like. But something else I like to do, and another function that maybe not a lot of people know about, is because we got back so many keywords, okay, it can almost become overwhelming, which is a good thing, right? Because we wanted data, boom, now we have data. But the one thing is, like, it can become kind of overwhelming on this much data coming back on, okay, what makes good pages? What really makes a good group of keywords? If you've ever watched any of my training on how to build a group of keywords to target on a page, you'll know that I always say they should have an extremely tight focus, meaning, you know, for pool resurfacing, if I go back to the pool resurfacing main page, okay, the main Xagio project plan, you can see the home page and look at my rankings: 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. Okay, but now let's look at my keywords. Pool resurfacing Arizona, which Phoenix obviously is in Arizona. Arizona pool resurfacing, it's like a reverse. Pool resurfacing Arizona, pool resurfacing AZ, pool resurfacing Phoenix, Arizona, pool resurfacing Phoenix AZ, pool resurfacing Phoenix pool resurfacing Arizona, pool resurfacing. It's the same thing every single time. It's just slight different variations of the exact same idea. So all these keywords have 100% the same intent of the searcher, and that's what I mean by a tightly focused group of keywords. You can see I'm not trying to target like pool remodeling and pool rebuilding. I'm targeting pool resurfacing in Phoenix, and all these keywords are saying the same thing, and that's what I mean by tight grouping. Now, how do we get nice tight groups from a big mess that we got in the audit? Even though it's a big, beautiful mess, it's got tons of keywords, tons of relevant data. What I like to do is use a new function that we also have built in called a keyword phrase match. And what this does, so if I go to keyword functions, I'm going to go phrase match into a new project. It's going to open a modal, okay, and I'm going to call it TBP, which stands for True Blue Pools, and then I'm going to call it PM, which stands for phrase match, okay. And now what it's doing is it's loading all the keywords inside of this particular project, the True Blue Pools audit. And you remember there was a lot of keywords in here. So let me just grab this. Okay, let me cancel. So you can see there's a lot of keywords in here, right? But I want to organize them quickly, right? Extremely quickly to get tightly focused groups. So once again, we open up keyword functions, we open up phrase match into new project. Okay, we give it a name, True Blue Pools phrase match. Okay, and then I'm going to call it 3-4, and you'll see why in a second. So now the next settings, it says minimum words and minimum keywords. The minimum words means before it. Okay, so you can see down here the list of long keywords, and some of these keyword phrases have 5 words, some of them have 4 words, some of them have 3. They're long tail keywords, right? So that means there's a lot of words within the phrase. Okay, so the first function is saying how many of the words within the phrase have to be matched before it makes a match. And I'm saying, okay, I want a minimum of at least 3 words matching within a phrase, okay, in order to belong to a group of keywords. The next one is how many of those matches do you want to find until a new group is created? We have to hit a minimum, so we're gonna say 4. So what I'm saying is out of all these, I don't know how many keywords, maybe hundreds of keywords, make 3 words out of the entire phrase match and find 4 matches before you create a group, right? So now what I can do is I'm going to click phrase match into a new project and watch how fast this happens, okay? And then we'll go look at the reorganization of keywords that happens after this phrase matching is done, okay? And that actually should have been done already, so of course I'm live. Weird stuff happens. So let me just refresh. And it's probably already done, but we'll just do a quick check here. Okay, so it didn't run for some reason, so I'll just run it again. So I'm going to go keyword functions, phrase match. I'm going to give it that same name. I'm going to call it 3 and 4. Okay, and that's why I called it 3-4, to tell me how many minimum words did I use and how many minimum keywords did I use. Okay, so let's phrase match that. Okay, and we're just gonna sit here and wait. Maybe I should have done a recording just so I didn't have to run into these kind of problems, but usually guys, this process, I've done it 100 times. Usually this process takes less than 10 seconds, okay? It phrase matches extremely quickly. And then it just creates that new group for you with all the phrase match done in it. So let me just see what's going on here. Open a new window. Oh, we're having this issue with my, this is, you know what it is? It's a hosting issue. This site is actually hosted on HostGator, and sometimes weird stuff happens. So what I can do is I'll show you quickly. I'm going to do this again, but I'm going to do it on a different site just to kind of speed things up. So I'm going to go back to Xagio. I'm going to go to Project Planner. Okay, I'm going to create a new project. I'm going to call it Audit True Blue Pools.com. I believe that's what it was. Just making sure. And I obviously got to get Pool Resurfacing Phoenix off of HostGator hosting. It's just been there forever, so I've never really moved it. Okay, so let me move it. We're on a better hosting here, so we're going to go to Audit Website. We're going to change this to True Blue Pools. Okay, leave all the options empty. Start operation. Okay, this is the part that might take a little bit the longest, but it's usually pretty quick. And it depends too on how many pages the other site has, how many keywords it finds, but it's usually pretty fast. So there you go. So now we're going to do the phrase match. So keyword functions, phrase match into a new project. We're going to call it True Blue Pools phrase match 3-4. Okay, we're going to set minimum words to 3, minimum keywords to 4. Okay, and then we're going to click phrase match into a new project. There you go. Okay, that's how fast it takes. It's done when you have good hosting. And we're going to look at this group now. Now let's see, okay, what the phrase match came up with as far as, you know, did it organize our keywords into tighter groups? So you can see here now, okay, and we're going to rename the groups for you as well based on the phrase matching that happens. So add waterfall to existing pool, Arizona pool builders, Arizona swimming pool, Arizona pool companies. Now, these are far tighter groups. All these keywords were based on what the other company was ranking for, but they may have keyword cannibalization. We don't know, we do know what pages their keywords were ranking for, but did they intend to rank for those keywords that way? The way that we do things, we intend to rank for those keywords on each of these pages. So you can see the grouping now is extremely tight. So Arizona pool resurfacing with AZ, Arizona pool remodeling, service page, swimming pool builders, service page, backyard infinity pools, service page, pool builder, Baja pool shelf, service page, tight group of keywords. Let's open up the word cloud. You can see Baja pool shelf is in all these keywords. So just with that, number one, auditing your most relevant competitor for your main keyword pulls in all their optimization, all their URLs, all their keywords and their rankings. But then you use the function to organize the keywords into tighter groups. So keyword functions, phrase match into a new project. And now guys, when you're trying to decide what keywords should I be going after, what additional pages should I have for my website, it becomes a two-step process. It's extremely easy, extremely fast, using the audit website, auditing your competitor, and then phrase matching them so that you get really nice tight groups. Now, I mean, I'm not on a webinar. I was almost about to say, give me a 1 if you understand that, but this is easy, guys. This is super easy. You can play around with the phrase matching to be a little more aggressive, a little less aggressive. So if we go back to projects, I'll show you another one. If we load up this one again, okay, the first poll, the audit of True Blue pools, I'm gonna just play with that phrase matching a little bit more just to show you kind of a little bit more functionality of it and what it does. Okay, so we're just waiting here for a second for that to load. And I do see a couple comments coming in, which is kind of cool. Woohoo! Thank you, friends. Let's go. Now I'm using StreamYard, guys, to stream this out to multiple groups. So if you're commenting on the groups, I won't see it yet, but I'll see it eventually. So for some reason, I see it in some places and not others. I don't know why it's page unresponsive. Let me just reload this. Oh, there we go. Okay, so now let's go back into the phrase match. Okay, so playing with these numbers, the minimum words and the minimum keywords, is going to be based on your long list of keywords or your short list of keywords. Now, the way I suggest it, if you have a lot of really long tail keywords, so like 4-word phrases, 5-word phrases, 6-word phrases, you're going to want to raise the amount of minimum words and typically kind of keep it under the average of your length of your phrases. It's just something you want to play around with. So for instance, if I said only match 2 words and match at least, 6 keywords, okay, I might get a completely different result of organization, right? But I can do this as many times as I want, and I can play with the phrase match settings as many times as I want. So let's do something a little different. Let's go a minimum of 4 words and a minimum of 3 keywords. So we're going to change up our name for 3, right? And let's just run that one and just see how it happens. So we're saying we want even tighter groups, right? So let's go back to our projects. I'm actually going to do this in a new window so that I can run that again later on. So we're going to go back to Xagio, we're going to go back to Project Planner, and we're going to look at our second match group because, like I said, so there's the first one where we matched 3-4. Here's the second one where we matched 4-3. Like I said, you can do it as many times as you want, your phrase match. It's just a reorganization of your keywords, okay? And it looks kind of similar. Add waterfall to an existing pool, swimming pool builders. Does the pool increase value in my home? What a great page to add as an additional supporting content, you know what I mean? And look at all the keyword volumes for some of these keywords, adding value to your home with a pool, right? And that's just by analyzing our competition, right? Freeform pool versus rectangular. So design ideas, right? Do you want a freeform pool or do you want something rectangular? Another one for increasing property value. So the miscellaneous group, there should normally, when you do a phrase match or a keyword cluster, okay, there'll be a miscellaneous group. And what the miscellaneous group is, we could not match according to your rules. So we got less groups here, right? Some really good ones, but then we have a really long list of phrase match. So let's go do another one. Okay, so keyword functions, phrase match into a new project. Okay, and we're gonna call this one, we're gonna match once again, we're gonna match 3 words. We're gonna want a minimum of, we'll go back to 4. So 3, 4. But this time we're gonna ignore, okay, so here we say excluded words, ignore the word pool, right? That's what this function on the bottom is. So all these rules have to be applied after ignoring the word pool. That's what the excluded word functions does. So I'm gonna go I pool just to, or ignore pool, okay? We'll phrase match again. Okay, done. So we'll go back to the project planner. And refresh this. Okay, so here's the ignore pool group. I don't know if it's going to be good or bad. I mean, I already got what I needed as far as, you know, the other groups, like to add new pages, to know which keywords to target. I'm really confident with what I have. But just to get an idea, when I have that, I'm saying, there we go, builders in Queen Creek. That's a new group that came up. A lot of infinity pools for small backyards, which is pretty niche specific, right? Natural pools in Arizona, rock slide waterfall. So there's some good stuff in here. There's some really good stuff, right? Waterfalls with slides, and then once again a big miscellaneous group. So pretty much I think that this is a good enough demo for you guys to show you guys the audit function. Make sure you update your plugin to the newest version. We're also going to be releasing an update, and there's a couple more functions that I'll show you. We're going to be releasing an update that's going to make things just look a little better. So let me load this group one more time, and I'll talk about what we're about to upload. So let me hide that. All right. So right now we're pulling in, you know, the URL in the project planner, Salt Lake City Emergency Dentist, because this is the website that we're working from to audit the existing website. In the next update, we're actually going to show their domain and the URL in its full capacity. So if it's a blog post and they have, like, you know, post name, URL structure, we're going to show it all. Okay. So right now we're just pulling the end of their URL so you can see what's there. In the next update, we're going to pull this out completely. Also, currently, when we're auditing an external website, sometimes we're still pulling in our own pages, because the initial idea of the audit was to audit our own existing websites. So like if you had a website with 50 pages and you're just starting with Xagio and you want to pull all your pages, posts into the project planner, that was the initial function, was to, okay, let's pull all that in. And as the audit grew, we obviously have to refine it into a better product. So the next update that's going to come, guys, when you're auditing an external website, okay, meaning the domain is not the one that you're working on. So I'm on Salt Lake City Emergency Dentist.net. I don't want to audit my own site. I want to audit my competitor's site. So when you do that, it's going to ignore any of your own pages. Right now it pulls those in as well. And right now you can see we do have filters. Okay, so if I filtered by pages, for instance, it should pull up my pages that are actually there. So there you go. So it's saying, you know, the About Us page, the dental fractures page. These are all my pages. So they really shouldn't be included in an external audit, and that's going to come in the next update. But for now, if you guys want to start using this right away, you can. And then if you want to filter stuff, you can see we can filter out the groups by, you know, any type. So show me only my pages, or show me only my posts. If you're working with Magic Page plugins, show me only my Magic Pages. If you're using location taxonomies, you can filter by that. And this filter it's just a view filter. So only show me certain things in the group, because sometimes if you have a big project, you have pages in here, posts in here. If you're using Magic Page plugin, you might see your Magic Page, you might see your locations pages. And that's a lot to look at. So we built that filter button to say, okay, I only want to look at, you know, a certain type of group within this project. So that's another function. So for you guys that want to start using this, once again, update your plugin to the latest version. We're going to release new updates pretty soon. The audit website is right here. The function to phrase match is right here. We might rename that, we might not, but the place where it's going to be is always the same. Every account that's a paying account of Xagio is going to start out with 30 audits per month. Because it's a new function, it costs us money to run these lookups. We're going to look at that functionality. We might change that number to a little bit higher for paying members, 30 audits. And then we'll also, if anyone wants to buy more, we'll soon have it inside of the store, inside of your Xagio dashboard. If you click on the little sharp shopping cart icon at the top of your sites, okay, up here, okay, we right now have, if you want to buy more competition or keyword research, rank tracking, all that stuff, the Xagio audits are going to be in the store soon. But you're starting off with 30 per month, which is a lot because you get a lot of data. And really, you should really only need to audit external websites very rarely, because once you pull in that volume, you just have a plethora of keywords. So hopefully you guys like the new feature. That's pretty much it for this video. If you have any questions, just post them in the group here and we'll answer them. And thanks so much for coming on, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.